Welcome to my sketch along. So I'm just doing a sketch. In this case, it's a light bulb. So as usual, I will always start with an outline. So kind of it's not in the frame of the video, but the light bulb is kind of off to the side. And I'm just kind of, it's like not in a lamp. I took it out, it's like a loose freestanding light bulb. And I'm just looking at the basic kind of shape of it, kind of how it looks, and trying to doing like a little bit of a sketch outline of just the basic shape. And usually during this process, it's not necessarily going to be perfect, but it allows me to be sure like the sizing is correct. Maybe something's too long or something's too short. And also, I will always, so as you can see right now, I'm just doing a basic kind of outline. What I will eventually go through is I'm going to look even closer at the object and kind of fix or whatever, like the little details of the drawing to make it conform more closely to how the object actually looks. So as you can see right now, just with this basic outline, it's pretty obvious what the object is, so that's a good thing. And even, just looking at this, if you get to this point, I can then look at the object and be like, hey, is this one part too long? Does this need to be changed? So now that I've done the basic outline, I'm now kind of going back through, and I am trying to kind of get even more detailed in kind of how the shape looks. And this is just how I draw. I didn't go to college for art. I'm not like a professionally trained or anything. But I love drawing. There is like some talent, I think, there from the Lord. So I'm a Christian, so I definitely want to give God all the glory to what I can do. It's definitely His ability and talent. So I want to do these videos for just the average person. Maybe you have some talent with drawing, but you haven't been professionally trained. You're not like, you're not necessarily living off of your art or anything, but you like to draw. So what you can do is in these sketch-alongs, I will just have everyday objects around the house, if I'm out at the park or wherever, and you can just sit down, take out your sketch pad, and start drawing. Okay, so as you can see now, I have a little blendy pen, and those are really cheap. You can get them at any art store, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. You can even make your own, and I've made my own before. You can get an index card and kind of roll it up kind of diagonally, and you can then maybe like tape it, once you get it looking into that kind of elongated shape with like a pointed end, tape it, and you can use it to blend kind of your pencil. You can also use your finger, and in a later video you'll see me using my finger, even a little bit in this video as well. The finger is easy. The only problem with that is it can get really, your fingers can get really kind of dirty and stuff from the pencil. So I'm filling in kind of the base of this light bulb right now, and I'm trying, and I have different shades of pencil, so you can absolutely do this. If you only have one pencil, you can just press it harder or whatever. But something recently I've started doing, which is like newer for me, is they actually sell different kind of lightnesses and darknesses of pencils, and I use graphite. I don't really do charcoal or anything like that. So like they have 4H, 3H, 3B, 4B, 6B, like that. I went ahead and got a pack of 12, so I have the full range, and it just makes it so much easier with shading. So you're not having to press hard for darker shades. And even lighter shades, you don't have to be so paranoid about being so light with it because it's already a light kind of graphite or whatever. So it works better. So as you could see, I did some shading. I blended it with the blendy pen, and now I'm kind of working on the lighting, where maybe the light is hitting the light bulb. Also, what I'm trying to do is, like when you're drawing, you don't want a very dark outline around the whole picture. That can look really kind of, it takes away from the realism. So I'm trying to kind of erase some of the darker lines in areas that aren't really shaded dark, so it looks more natural. So now I am working on, I'm about to work on I'm about to work on the metallic part of the bulb. Right now, what I'm just now shading in is not, it's kind of like the lower part of kind of the plasticky, I guess you can say, part of the bulb. And shading is so important in drawings because if you want to do realistic drawings, it's so important that you just look at the shading so it looks real. So as you can see here on the bulb, the top bulb portion, I'm kind of erasing some of the line and making it lighter so it looks more real. Because if you actually look at like an object in natural light, you're going to notice that it's not like, it doesn't have this dark, bold outline around it. Parts of it might have an outline where it's like darker and the shadows are, but the other parts will not. So for this part, the bulb, to kind of get that look, that kind of reflective look, I'm not even going over with pencil. I'm just using the blendy pen, and the blendy pens, as you can see, that dark part of the blendy pen, I've been using it for a very long time. So on, many drawings. So it kind of retains some of the kind of the pigment or whatever of the pencil. So I'm able to kind of use it. If I kind of want to do kind of very gentle, delicate shading in areas that's a little bit more subtle, I can use that. And it's better than using like the pencil. So that's what I'm doing with the bulb part. So the shading is a little bit more organic looking and real and subtle. It also makes it very easy if I mess up, like erase or something as well. Oh, sorry about the camera. I'm holding like it in my hand right now as I'm drawing, so I apologize for it getting off center. So when you're shading, it's like the details that really make it look real. The different grades of shading are so important. So when you're like looking at an object, I really want to look at all the different grades of shading and try replicating that. Again, for this drawing, I am actually looking at a real light bulb, and this is something you can have around your house. So the purpose, like I already said, of these videos is you can just use things around your house and sketch them and hone your art abilities, practice, and, improve your drawing skills or kind of learn how to draw without paying big money and getting all kinds of fancy things. You can just use what's around you. Okay, so now I'm beginning kind of the metallic part of the bulb. And so metal, you know how that looks, how it reflects the light. So it can be, for me at least, a little bit more challenging. So I was really looking at kind of how the lighting was, different grades of lighting, to try to replicate it so it would look real. Where the light is hitting, where the shadows are. So now I'm going over with a blending pen, because if you think of metal, metal is smooth, right? So I want to show the shadows and the gradation of shading and different lighting and all that stuff in the metal so it looks metallic, but at the same time it needs to look smooth. And I'm going back with kind of an eraser, and again, this is not some fancy eraser. This is an eraser you can get from the dollar store. I think I even got that one from the Dollar Tree, to kind of just add, more specific kind of lighting so it looks really kind of metallic. Ooh, I'm sorry, the camera is off center again. I'm still working on yes, there you go. I'm working on the metallic area still. As you can see, I'm going back through, I'm kind of perfecting the shape so it looks more accurate. So what I was doing that was off the camera is I was kind of rounding that part up a little bit more, defining kind of the little kind of jaggedness of the metal a little bit more so it more closely matches the actual object. Okay, so now I'm going and I am filling in kind of the part of the bulb that you would usually like screw in to a lamp or something. And some things I kind of just wing it. This is a sketch. I like realism. So I'm just kind of, again, looking at the lighting, the shadows as my guide and kind of just winging it. You don't want to be ultra perfectionistic. Just wing it and then just correct and go back and fix as you go. The biggest thing about this, if you want it to look realistic, is use shading to define the shape. Don't actually just outline the shape of everything, which is what I did with this area. I used kind of shading to define the shape so you get that kind of ridged look. And I'm going back using kind of some eraser just for highlights. Okay, and I am almost done with this, just doing a few more corrections. Okay, and I am done with the light bulb. And as you can see, so those are my pencils. That's the real light bulb I tried using, and that's my sketch. I probably could have made the body a little bit smaller, but it still looks great.